I can't believe you remembered all those little quirky things that I used to do. But I just want to start off by saying good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am truly honored to stand up here tonight and to be inducted into LIU's Hall of Fame. I get to follow in the footsteps of some of the great players that have previously been inducted, and I'm proud to say that some of those young women were also my teammates. Thank you, LIU, for throwing such an extravagant event, and congratulations to all my fellow inductees. It's because of hard work, dedication, and the pure love for your sport that we are all here tonight to celebrate. My life, I guess you can say, has been consumed by softball. Ever since I can remember, my father had me in the backyard, having a catch or practicing my swing. It's amazing that I grew up to love the sport, because when I tell you the first time I had a catch with the glove, I ended up with a black eye. My dad thought that was going to be it for me, but it actually wasn't. It was just one of the many bumps and bruises that I had to overcome to succeed. I believe my love for the game came by watching my father. In my eyes, one of the best baseball players I've ever seen. I would go to every one of his games ever since I could remember. I remember he would ask me to have a catch with him to warm him up, and all his teammates couldn't believe how well I threw and caught the ball. My dad had no choice but to bring his A game. He had a little girl behind the backstop yelling at him to keep his head on the ball and telling him that I knew he could do it. But like life in general, it came around full circle. As I got older, it was my dad who pushed me to strive and be the best I could be. He was the one standing behind the backstop cheering me every step of the way. He truly was my #1 fan. Dad, I would never be the softball player I became if it wasn't for you. And I love you for that. Behind every good man, there is a great woman. My mom was the glue that kept everything together. She was sort of like Superwoman. She was the one who had the job of driving me all around the island to whatever practice or game I had, all while raising my 3 younger siblings. She made sure that we did well in school, and if she had to make meals for us to eat in the car, that's what she did. I don't know if I ever truly gave you the credit for all that you do, but now being a mom myself, I can really appreciate all you did and still do for your family. I only hope I can be a fraction of the mother that you are to all of your children. When it came time to pick a college, I thought that was the most stressful thing I would ever have to endure. Looking back, I laugh. It was amazing what you think stress is as a young teenager. I only wish life was that easy for me today. My mom used to say that you were meant to go where you're meant to be. God, was she ever right. Signing at LIU was one of the best decisions I have ever made in my life. And if you ask my parents, they would agree, because it meant that they could stop by, might I add, randomly, whenever they wanted, to say hello. Coach and Bill, I consider them part of my family. They didn't look at you like you were just a softball player. They care for each and every one of us as individuals. Coach, being a father of 4 children, spent more time with his softball family than he did his own. So please tell Mrs. Cortman that I thank her for letting us have you. Coach, what I loved about you is that you're more concerned about making your team better people than you are about your record. You are all about the please and thank yous, and no one could eat their food until everyone at the table was served. You demanded respect and therefore taught us to be a family and to win and lose as a team. To you, it didn't matter if we were freshmen or seniors. We were no different than one another. We were a group of girls from completely different backgrounds coming together to achieve our goals. To this day, I carry around with me the life lessons that I learned from you. I am grateful that we still have a relationship to this day, and you are a true role model. You were tough, you loved us, and you created memories that will last a lifetime. Bill, your kind heart is bigger than life. I remember you taking us to see Christmas lights around Brooklyn just to give us a break from studying for finals. You made sure we were treated like royalty and took us to the best restaurants, and we always had the best gear. You made sure that if anyone from our team didn't get to go home for Thanksgiving break, that they had their traditional turkey dinner. We as a team were so fortunate to have a coach like you who told it like it was. You were so easy to talk to, and you clearly cared deeply for each and every one of us. You helped me realize that there are beautiful things outside there in the world outside of the softball field. The team bonding that you and Coach helped create is one of my favorite memories of being a college athlete. As a coach now, I try to take all my experiences and the influential people in my life and mold them into my own style of coaching. A funny story is a few years ago, I am coaching a varsity softball game for my hometown, Sabo. We were playing our rivals, which happened to be our neighbor in town. Midway through a game, one of my players turned around to me and said, "Coach, I think the girl's gonna steal." And sure enough, she did. The very next pitch, she turned around and said, "Coach, I think they're gonna bunt." Once again, she was right. She then turned around and said, with complete shock on her face, "Coach, they have the same exact signs as us." So I just smiled at her and was so proud that she was actually paying attention to the little details of the game. And I explained the reason they have the same signs as us is because the other team's coach and I both played at LIU together, and they were our college signs. I continue to coach now, and I was able to bring Sable softball to their first ever New York State Championship. Playing the game of softball has shaped me into the woman I am today. It still is a huge part of my life, and ironically, through softball, I was able to meet the love of my life. We actually met at our Suffolk County Coaches meeting. It's great because we understand each other, and we will be happily married as long as we don't play each other in league games or playoffs. So once again, I just want to thank LIU's coaches, athletic trainers, and administrators for giving me the opportunity to play and to get a degree from such an amazing college, and for creating even more memories for my family and I years after I last stepped onto my home field here at LIU. Thank you very much, and congratulations to everyone.